So Bryony's gone home now, and today is the first day that I get to spend on my own. Honestly, it's a little weird kind of going to bed on my own and waking up on my own again because she's been here for the past 5 weeks or so. However, she's back again in like 10 days, so it's not actually that bad overall, really, is it? Obviously, as always, I have the gym later on today. However, I am mixing some things up, which I'll explain later on. But first, I need some breakfast because it's early, I'm hungry, and I need some energy for when I actually go to the gym in a bit. As always though, I'm cooking some halloumi, which is honestly my favourite breakfast currently. Halloumi, bagels and eggs. So tasty, so good. However, while that's cooking, because it'll take a few minutes, I'm going to go and play my favourite game while Bryony's left. And by favourite game, I mean more of favourite activity, something that I like to call, what has Bryony left at my house this time? Starting in the kitchen while we're downstairs, this food, majority of this food, some of this food at least, is not mine, it's hers. Also, in the fridge over here, if we look, this stuff, also not mine. Some of it is, obviously, but these olives aren't, these capers, these are, I don't even know what these are, antipasti artichoke things, I don't know. Especially the gherkins, not mine. Obviously, I expect her to leave food here because, well, she's been living here and can't take it all home with her. However, she does leave other things here, such as clothes, jewellery, and all sorts. I'm gonna go find them now. Moving on up to the bedroom though, she's left this stuff here, which is some earring stud things. This is a broken septum thing, an eraser, and some gems. Next on the agenda is this, which is obviously some incense. Also, this thing, which is an oil wax burner thing. These things I don't mind her leaving because it makes my room and house smell nice if I get to use them. In the bathroom, there's always a bunch of Lush products, some of which are mine, obviously, because she gets me gifts of them, but some of them are hers too. And last but not least, this last thing is my favourite thing, which is left because I enjoy it the most. And that thing is this here floor space. When she comes to stay over, obviously she has to bring a lot of stuff with her, which means that she leaves a lot of it in my room, like cases and bags and all sorts, and I end up with absolutely no space on the floor. Which in all honesty I don't mind too much really, because obviously we have a long distance type relationship and she needs to bring that stuff with her. It's just obviously nice to have the space back. Obviously that'll change in the future though when we hopefully live together. It's just currently there's no real space in my house for her, so everything kind of gets dumped wherever it fits. And that concludes this week's episode of What Has Bryony Left Here This Time. I'm gonna go finish off making my breakfast, eat it, and then catch up with you guys in a bit when I'm heading towards the gym. Okay, well now it's mid-afternoon and I'm just heading towards the gym. Honestly, I've been putting it off a little bit too long today, although I've been doing it on purpose because, well, the weather is not good. Honestly, I'm one of these people that's really weird and actually enjoys rain. I love the smell of it, I love how it feels, and I just like being out in it, as long as I've not got anywhere to go. However, there is one thing that I absolutely hate, and that is wind. Wind sucks. If there's something that will ruin your day, it is wind. It ruins your outfit. It'll definitely ruin my film because it ruins the audio and you cannot hear what I'm saying because you get that awkward, glitchy, crackly noise from the wind hitting the microphone. And that includes the Rode Video Micro, which is what I'm using now. It's supposed to have a dead cat on it, which is supposed to block the wind, but honestly, in my experience, while using this, it really does not block the wind. Which is honestly why I've kind of waited till now to come out. It was awful weather before, it's kind of died down a little bit. Even though it's still a little bit windy, it's not as bad as it was earlier in the day. So yeah, I'm currently just on my way to the gym, trying to get there as quick as possible to avoid any wind and rain, because I honestly don't want to be out in it, and I don't want to get my equipment wet again. Speaking of equipment as well, I don't even know what I've done. I'm sure I've done something to this lens or camera because every so often it just suddenly seems to go out of focus now. Even though the A6300 is supposed to have one of the best focusing systems in the world, it still goes out of focus. So I've either got it wet or dropped it or something. No idea what I've done to my camera. So in the near future I may have to look into getting a new lens because I'm sure I've dropped it at some point and probably done something to the electronics or an element to make it do that. So look forward to me getting some new equipment because that's always exciting, even though it cost me a lot of money. Thankfully I don't just film for YouTube, I also film for like weddings and corporate events and stuff, so I kind of have half justifiable reason for buying new lenses and stuff because I get to use it on those projects too. As I said earlier on though, I'm heading just towards the gym, and also as I said earlier on, I'm mixing things up today. Today is Monday, and that usually means it's the start of the week for me, which also usually means that it's max effort lower. However, I'm mixing things up today by not actually doing my max effort lower squat today. I'm actually going to do max effort upper and do some bench instead. Usually I start my week with squats because, well, everyone knows squats are pretty taxing on your body, and I don't go to the gym on Sunday, so I squat on Monday, so I've actually got some energy left, energy stored to actually get my squat lower body workout in. Also, everyone knows that Monday is International Chest Day, so I don't want to be doing max effort upper on that day because I'll be waiting around for about 4 years to actually get a bench to do my session on. However, last week I had a very busy week. I went shopping to Liverpool and took my mum to Lush for her nice spa day out thing. Also, I was working a lot and then I was spending lots of time with Bryony. So my week kind of ended on Sunday with deadlift, which doesn't usually happen. So I was kind of exhausted and I really don't feel like doing deadlifts yesterday and then max effort squats today because that will just absolutely kill my body. So this week I'm mixing it up by having max effort upper on Monday, Wednesday's going to be max effort lower, deadlifts are going to be on Friday or Saturday instead of the usual Thursday, and then I'm going to fit my other dynamic days around those. Definitely not the most ideal setup for this week's session, cycle, workout plan kind of thing, but I'm trying to make it work, get into the gym and fit it around my life and work. Which honestly is what it's all about really. You may have the best program in the world laid out for you, but if you can't get into the gym to actually execute it, it's pointless having that program, right? Which brings me neatly to today's session. Basically, my program's coming to an end now. It's kind of winding down, so I'm going away from the really difficult variations and going to the slightly easier ones. So today's variation is basically going to be me doing a max effort slingshot. If you've been following me and my progress, you'll know that my strong point is always and has been my triceps, whereas the slingshot kind of takes the chest out of it and just makes it more of a tricep overload at the top. So I'm kind of working the lockout and stuff more. I know that's not going to help me much, but it helps me kind of wind down and save a bit of energy for when I actually test my max in a couple of weeks. Anyway, I've just arrived at the gym. I'm going to go have a good session. I don't think I'm going to have a spot this week, which means I'll probably work up to a max effort double instead of a single. So hopefully I can do what I got last time, which was a 35. Wish me luck. Well, basically that wasn't exactly the best session I've ever had. Managed to work up to 137 kilos for my slingshot. Didn't have a spot, obviously, but honestly I should have got more than that, but I think the fact that I did deadlifts yesterday kind of took its toll on my body, so yeah, I probably could have got more if I really tried, but I didn't want to risk it just in case I failed and I'd end up having to do the roll of shame in the gym. There is always next week for me to actually try and beat that number. Hopefully I can get a spot then and hopefully I can get a slingshot PR, which I think would be 145 kilos. Anyway, I am absolutely starving after that session, so I'm gonna go make myself something to eat and then possibly go and play some games on my PS4. And by games, I mean just play more Final Fantasy 15, because that's honestly all I've played since getting it a couple of weeks ago. Thanks for watching as always. If you have any comments or suggestions or questions or whatever, drop it in the comment section below. As always though, remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want, and I'll see you all next time. Peace! There goes a sight from my soul.